You know, we saw a lot of business leaders speaking out against our withdrawal from the climate accord, the Paris Climate Accord. In fact, Goldman Sachs, the CEO, Lloyd Blankfein, tweeted interestingly, his very first tweet. I wonder if that was timed accordingly. Today's decision is a setback for the environment and for the U.S.'s leadership position in the world. Goldman Sachs, by the way, the same company that recently went out and bought all those bonds in Venezuela, effectively propping up Nicolas Maduro and his socialist regime. So how is Goldman to be talking about what's best for the world when Goldman is out there trying to help Venezuela? And then you get the CEOs of Tesla. This is predictable. And Walt Disney, of course, Bob Iger, he's in Hollywood. You got to have all those Hollywood stars on your side. They're announcing that they're going to be leaving White House advisory councils. Joining me right now with his thoughts on all of it, American Majority CEO Ned Ryun. Good to have you here, Ned.
Thanks.
All right, as I said, Iger in some ways doesn't surprise me. He
Right.
needs to keep Hollywood happy.
Right.
Musk, you know, he's got a financial interest, right, in making sure that we go green for his own sake and his own company's sake. Let's talk about Lloyd Blankfein now, because this to me is rather hypocritical. I mean, he's out there bankrolling Venezuela.
But even more specifically, Trish, the bonds that they bought were in Venezuela's national oil company. So not only is he propping up this socialist regime, he's propping up the evil fossil fuel company in Venezuela. I'm sitting there going, you are an utter hypocrite. Then you have Elon Musk, Mr. crony capitalist himself, who's now flying a Gulfstream G650. So every time he comes back to beg for more government funds, every round trip, he is literally creating more metric tons of CO2 than the average American citizen does in a year. And I'm sitting here going, first of all, you're hypocrites. And I would say this, Trish, we authenticate and we validate what we believe by what we do, not by what we say. And I'm looking at their actions going, you're saying one thing, you're doing another. What you're doing actually shows you really might not believe what you're saying.
But isn't this just another example, frankly, Ned, of the left saying, we know what's best for the world, we know what's best for you, and yet doing exactly what they want to do all along?
Yeah, we're going to tell all the peons, you know, this is how you're supposed to live, and we're going to live. We have a bifurcated society. We're going to do things our way. You're going to do what we tell you to do, and we're going to live our lives how we so please. The interesting thing about all of this, Trish, as we look at Paris and the corporations, a lot of the Fortune 1000 companies have had sustainability programs in place for decades. And you know why? Because the market has forced them to do that, either shareholders, either for good business, either for PR, for whatever reason.
I get it.
They've put these programs in place, and you know what? These things are already baked into the bottom line. We've seen success doing this. Americans have already been paying for it. Move on.
Ned Ryun, good to see you, sir. Thank you so much.
Trish.
We'll be right back.